March 25th, and there's still a lot of it out here. My word. March 25th, and there's still a lot of it out here. My word. El Bandito is remarkably cold. Okay, how many times do you think I'm going to kill my engine today? Because I'm wearing my winter gloves and I cannot ride my bike with winter gloves. It's weird. I guess it just feels different. Oh, I'm gonna open my visor a little bit. My winter gloves just feel different. I've never gotten used to riding with winter gloves. I think I mentioned that last year. I tend to kill my engine 3 times on each ride. I guess we'll see. I'll get a kitty. I get to heckle the kitty, maybe. And for that car, I might have been able to heckle the kitty. With a very poorly placed pothole. I don't know why they can't place potholes on the edges of the road. Why do they have to put potholes in the middle of the road? Oops. That was embarrassing. Sorry, guy. At low RPMs, it almost sounds like an Aprilia. I've always thought Aprilias always sound like they need a tune-up. Maybe it's just me. It seems like the Yamahas, the Kawasaki's, the Hondas, they usually sound clean, I guess. They sound cleaner. The Aprilias they sound clunkier, they sound dirtier. Studded S.T.P tires. S.T.P being an abbreviation for subtemperate precipitation. As a motorcyclist, there's a certain 4-letter word that I just don't like to use. I just don't like that word. So I call it subtemperate precipitation instead. There's another 4-letter word that I'm a little more selective of. I especially don't like to use that word in the presence of a lady. But since most of you are men, I'll say what that word is anyway. Sock. I just don't like to discuss unmentionables in front of people. Oh shit, I mentioned them. My oil light is on again. Not sure why my oil light is on again. So I wonder if I should ask Dad about it. You know, I think I will ask Dad about it. Okay, so I talked to my nephew-in-law here at USA Honda. Turned out I'm just a quart low. I was sure I put enough in. Apparently I'm a quart low, so I gotta go home and fill it up again. I call him my nephew-in-law because he's my brother's wife's sister's daughter's husband's brother. So I just jokingly call him my nephew-in-law. He's a good guy. His name is Brad. He's a great guy. He certainly knows what he's talking about. I'd say USA Honda is probably the best dealer in the area. Not just Walla Walla. I've tried a couple in the Tri-Cities. Those ones were kind of expensive, really. There's one on 395, Rattlesnake Mountain. They're expensive, $120 an hour for labor. USA Honda is only $70 an hour. I tried Pendleton. They weren't too bad. There's a Suzuki shop out by the flour mill. They were fine. They were okay. They were good in a pinch, I guess. I'm sure locals like them. But for me, USA Honda is my go-to shop for any motorcycle issues. I go straight to them. Tom's is across town. And the last time I went there was a couple years ago, and even then it was just to ask if they've heard of anyone using a cell phone as little more than a tablet. They didn't even know. So I tried a Verizon shop, and of course they tried to sell me some $800 Samsung Galaxy. But they said yes, I could do it, and then I went to Kmart, bought a $50 track phone. I've been using that as nothing more than a miniature Android tablet. I just realized I'm inadvertently practicing my lane filtering. I was trying to stay in that dry track back there. I guess we could call that practicing lane splitting. There's a bill in the state legislature that would allow motorcycles to pass on the left shoulder of certain freeways. There are various conditions involved, speed limits and relative speeds, whatnot, type of roads. It sounds like it's Washington's compromise to lane splitting. I'm not sure if that would affect 125 in Walla Walla. It requires a divided highway, among other things. I guess one could argue that the at grade intersections on 125 would render that part undivided. So I guess there's a little bit of a debate as to whether that applies to 125 or not. It's mostly for Vancouver, Spokane, and Seattle, Puget Sound area. Maybe Yakima. I guess Yakima can benefit from it. For a city of 300,000 people, seems like the traffic in the Tri-Cities flows pretty well. People always stop here even though we have 2 lanes. We gain a lane here. It doesn't feel like we do, but we do. I don't understand why we gain the lane if nobody uses it. I don't even understand why we gain the lane anyway. This trailer park isn't that popular. Plus that guy also demonstrated one of the reasons for not keeping the lane. He just went straight in the through lane, I do believe. It just adds more confusion. Probably why the state wants to build a roundabout there. It's state jurisdiction because it's Washington State Highway 125 now. Studded S.T.P tires. There's a bill in the legislature that would phase out studded tires. They'd be illegal starting in 2025 if the bill passes. In the meantime, gigundo fee, $100 per tire, I believe it is. We'll see if that bill passes. I hope it does. I don't think we really need studded tires. I just have all-weather tires on my truck, and I do fine. But then again, I also drive cautiously too, in my cage. On Raphael, I'm a badass, but in my cage, I drive cautiously. This is unanticipated. Not sure why this is, but it is one to observe. Okay. I have evidence that this is the 3rd cycle, the 3rd light cycle, but I have been waiting. Now there's really no excuse for the light not permitting me to go. Yeah, see there? The light is malfunctioning. The light is malfunctioning. Got a camera. I yielded right away to everyone. Be sure to like this video if you like the editing.